guys, my name is Evangeline and today I'm going to talk to you about density. Okay, so density, in this experiment, we're going to take a look at how different liquids and objects with different densities behave. So what you're going to start out with clear glass. It doesn't really matter what kind it is. I'm using mason jar. And then we're going to pour a decent amount of water into it. I've seen people dye the water to show a greater contrast between the layers, and you can do that if you want, but I found that it's easier to see the different objects in the water if it's clear. Then I'm going to take some kind of syrup. I'm using honey, but you could take anything, maybe like corn syrup or something. And then I'm going to pour a good layer in here. You just want to be able to see the contrast. So yeah, you can see the different layering. And the reason why it behaves this way is because if something is more dense than the water, it will sink if a liquid is. If it's less dense than the water, it will float. Now, what is a substance that might float on top of water, you may ask? Well, I can show you. I have some vegetable oil here, and we're going to pour a layer of vegetable oil. And it might take a little while to settle. It's kind of interesting to see it move, and it automatically, you already see the layering. So you can kind of see the different layering. Pretty neat, huh? So now we're going to look at how different objects behave within the layers. So like I said before, if an object is more dense than water, it will sink, or more dense than the substance that it's in, it'll sink. But if it's less dense, it will float. So let's take a look at some different objects and see what we think that they're going to do. So right now I have a hex nut, and I'm going to drop it in here, and I'm going to see what it will do. And it sank right to the bottom. You might be able to see it. It's on the bottom of the honey, so it sinks. So that means it's more dense than the honey. Okay, now we're going to take a grape and see if it's going to sink or float on any of the substances. Oh, cool. So you can see the grape. It's sitting right on the honey here. So it's less dense than the honey, but it's more dense than the water, so that's why it sank. All right, we're going to take a bottle cap. Oop, I dropped it again. Okay, here we go. And we're going to take our bottle cap and see what this is going to do. So this is about equal density. It's a little more dense than the, the oil. So it's kind of like sitting midway. It might have equal density with it. That's why it is kind of hanging halfway there. It's not quite sinking. And then last but not least, we have a little piece of a sponge. And that's sitting on the oil. So yeah, that's our little experiment with density. We have different layers of density. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks again. Bye.